We should be back live here for this morning session. I'm glad I waited the 15 minutes and as well the 20 minutes to make sure that I'm not taking any unnecessarily impulsive trades. Lots of volatility. The DAX really went up. I'm not super sure if this is going to hold, but let's see. If we're going to break above 800 and continue to close above, I might consider going in for a long. So we got above, but no really progress so far. It's just trading sideways and it's not breaking below 700, it's not really breaking above. But if you're gonna break above now, I'll go for a long. To me, I would say we really have to break below the low range for me to consider taking a short, and we have to break the high range for me to consider going for long. I have nothing against going for long. I would like to do a long, but I will also like to do a short if we're gonna break below. Again, I will size a little bit down today, just so you're aware, okay? Going back to the 5 and the 3 and the 2. I'll grow this account steadily towards 40k. Yesterday was tough. Not a lot of confirmation, to be honest. So what we're always looking at is confirmation, and when there's just consolidation back and forth, it's not really doing anything, right? And then there's no reason to really take the trade. That's why I didn't place any trades. Like, yeah, I could take a long there and I could have exited and been scalping the market, and it's pretty safe because there's no really progress above, no really progress below, and that's what we normally like, and that's also why I do not just go in. I want to wait for a clear confirmation, okay? So right now I'm doing nothing. I'm just waiting and I'm holding cash so we can grow this account steady over time. This should come a good opportunity soon, either for a short or for a long. Again, this have to break below. It did not break below, so there's no really need for me to do anything, right? I'll give it another couple of minutes more and decide, but I have to break below or have to break above, okay? Else I'm not doing anything. So the UK 100 is actually showing great progress, but then rejected again, right? It could be a short option if we fail to break above. It could come all the way back to here to, could rally back, come back 35 points. But again, I'm aware that this is a risky trade with no really confirmation above the first 15, 20 and 30 minutes highs. There's no progress above 39. There's no progress below, so it's just like consolidating. To me, this is a short back to here, break below, another short, break above, consider doing a long. Right now, it's like no really signal. It's really consolidating. You have to understand why the market is reacting like this, okay? And if you do not get it, then it's very hard to trade. You have to understand that 9:30 a.m. we're gonna have big news. So we have PMI, okay? Germany flash manufacturing PMI. We're gonna have that for the United States as well. So there's gonna be 15 minutes after market opening, right? That's going to be after the market is open. That's going to come news in. That's really going to affect. And FOMC member Beller speaks, yeah. But we're going to have big news coming in today as well for Germany, okay? And we also have for the UK 100, the future, we have GDP, we have news coming in about 1 hour. I will not be streaming there and I'll be trading, but I'll take this one here. It should come in, but there's no really reaction to it. There's no reaction really. It's just not doing anything really. Still waiting to take a trade here. In about 3 minutes we should see some volatility coming in here. And Nasdaq is not really doing anything, it's just moving back and forth. But again, be careful. I will also size down, okay? So this is not a pretty big size, but I would like to size down, so use 2, 3, then I could add more to it if it's going in the right direction. Let's see here. Because I'm allowed to take 1% risk per trade, or even 0.5% or 0.25%. So that's why I went in a little bit earlier, later today, because we have news, so there's no reason to really trade and place any trades when there's no direction, and the direction is going to come soon. Like, we're going to have news, and I think the news is very good. I think they're going to push the DAX, but they could also sell off the DAX again. We don't know, it's like 50-50, right? They already pushed the DAX. And they never sold it off like we saw in the Nasdaq. Like, if you look at Nasdaq on a 4-hour time frame, we can have news in a couple of seconds, but you could see Nasdaq sold off when everything was on holiday, and then it just pushed right back again. And same for the same for the DAX, it pushed above. Stand by for a long position on the DAX if we're going to break above. I'll go in here for a long. We are break above. This is my strategy. So I'm just following my own rules. We're going to have news coming in here, so it could be very risky. Let's see here. Moving stop loss back here, just to see if this is a fake out. I'm not in that heavy, so I can always add to it. I know it was up, but again, I'm just waiting to see where the market is going to head today. It could sell off now because of the news, and I have to respect that and accept that. But again, I'm in very light, so I could just take off if I want to. So it came in better than expected and worse than expected. The market is not super sure how this should react, so that's why we're not seeing any progress on the upside or downside. It might just keep consolidating. But again, currently have my stop loss at just below the moving average DMA, and I just gonna have the target to around 900 for this long position. I'm not really doing more for this morning session than holding this one here, I think. Again, super risky, but I'm aware of the risk. Okay, let's see here if we're gonna break above or if this is gonna be a fake out. Still long, nothing has changed. I'm still in for the light position, and I'm just gonna hold it if it's gonna push. And let's see here. No really confirmation, but we might get the confirmation, and that's what I'm waiting for it to break above and start rallying. Okay, so I'm still holding a long position, nothing have changed. It's a lighter position. Okay, no progress. It went above, but it didn't manage to close above. It's a little tricky here. It could sell back to lows, and then I'm not going to do anything. UK is actually pushing, and we went above, so this is the breakout we saw right there. It should come, but again, it could be a fake out. I will just hold this all the way back to 22,000, I think. If it starts coming above 850, then I'll just let it run. But again, it could sell back. It's not really giving me any signs of progress. I just see the UK is pushing, but that's also has some issues breaking above 44. So it's a little trickier, and DAX is not doing anything at all. It's just negative. But again, when you have a light position, you don't really care. I mean, it's not really hurting you, right? So if you ride with a light position, it's good, and you make a couple of percent or even more, and you can just hold it if you want. And then if it goes against you, it doesn't really gonna hurt you. You're really account balance, and that's what I'm gonna focus on when I'm not super sure. I was sure about the DAX and Nasdaq yesterday, but again, it was so volatile and it didn't really match my criteria for trading. I still managed to scalp some. I know you might maybe not catch the moves, and that's what we have to accept. It was too volatile and like went against the trend, and now we see DAX and Nasdaq just pump. So glad I closed. Again, no progress. Looks like it could push, but again, we didn't see anything. I'll hold this one here for now because it's a very light position, so it's not really going to affect me and my overall balance. Because if it hits my stop loss, like I lose like $100, and if I let it run back to 22,000, I make 200 points but it doesn't really affect me if it doesn't gonna work out. What I'm saying is I don't want to add, I don't want to scalp this market when there's no confirmation above or no confirmation below. It's just like very tricky. So why would I go in with heavier contracts and hope for something to happen? I shouldn't really be doing that. It's not really my style. But again, it looks like it's have some resistance here, and it could sell all the way back, and then I take the loss here and I just stop for this morning here. So DAX is not giving us any progress at all, but the market is pretty positive. The market is very positive. I think we could see a big push in the next hour or two. If we're gonna break above 850, I like to my stop loss to break even and just let it run all the way back to 22,000. But if we do not break above, then yeah, I'll just maybe exit this one here. I know this could be a very good trade. It's just not working out for me, to be honest. And I know it could come once I'm closing it, or once it's gonna break above and I choose to close it because there's no progress, then it could push. I have a pretty good feeling about my stop loss. My stop loss is well placed for a good potential trade here. So it just got up, they're selling it back, they're testing the market. Yeah, they could push it back to here, they could push up again. So very rare I do this, like it's super rare, but I will have this long here and I'll just let it run back to highs of almost 22,000. So I'm going after making 194 points and I'm in very light, so it doesn't gonna affect me. It's not really it's gonna add a couple of percentage to the overall account balance, but the overall loss is gonna be very minimized here, okay? So because the market is holding and I see pushes and I see the news was great and the market is very optimistic today, I choose to hold this one here. You can also see SAP is up 8% today. Rheinmetall is down, yeah, okay. Yeah, I would probably just hold it and not do anything. As you can see, I'm still could also exit this one here. Okay, let's just exit at 25 for 20 points. Then just call it a morning session, and I can come back to this later at New York session. I think that was it. Better than nothing. Let's call it. I just don't like to spend more time watching it. It's not really giving me what I expected.